Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, chiefly a great millstone, those like-minded elders that rule and teach well. Shalom, wa barakatam to you brothers out there laboring on the highways in truth and in sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Now, I just wanted to read this article that I come across and then just get a couple precepts. Won't be long. It says the Horn of Africa has experienced the longest drought in 40 years. Compounded by high food prices and political instability, this has led to a 36.4 million people suffering from hunger across the region.
Become more careful behind the wheel.
Salakia. It says, this has led to 36.4 million people suffering from hunger across the region and 21.7 million requiring food assistance. Although a famine has not yet been officially declared, it is projected to occur in 2023. We are further seeing the signs of the time if you've been measuring it diligently, So it says the Horn of Africa, which I believe consists of Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, those countries are surrounding that area. They're going through some shit, man. And this is going to come over to the Western world. The same thing that we're seeing here is going to pass over. And this is the thing the scriptures say, when I say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. Okay? So we're seeing, 36.4 million people suffering from hunger across the region and 21.7 million requiring food assistance. And some of these people will do whatever they can to get to that food. And this is why we need to be led by the Ruach HaKodesh, understanding that the Heavenly Father is going to feed his servants. If we serve diligently and hearken unto the voice of our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, not trusting in our oppressor. And this is going to be a very tough trial for a lot of the brothers out there to go through, whether your faith is strong enough to just go and not bow down to this this beast system, to not get that karagma, which is that mark in that day, which is going to be the means and the way to be able to eat. These are the things that they're going to implement. Okay, this is the book of Luke chapter 21 and verse 11, and it says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. It says, earthquakes shall be in diverse places and famines. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing famines. We've seen earthquakes. We're seeing famines now. So this is a time of great trouble is upon us, And this is why we need to turn back to the Heavenly Father while we can, speaking to the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, speckled birds, you Haitians, you ones that call yourself West Indians. All these people are the children of the Heavenly Father, which promises, statutes, laws, commandments was given unto us to follow, to be obedient to our Heavenly Father, okay? So it says a great earthquake shall be in diverse places and famines, and this is what we're seeing. Africa is going to have a great famine, and it will come over to you. It will meet you. If you don't die by the sword, it says you will die of starvation, man, unless you come back to the Heavenly Father and be guided and have those angels on you. So what does it say? My servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Talking about the elect men, that remnant will eat. But you that forsook Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, unless you sign up to the beast system, to that mark, to that karagma, you're not gonna be able to eat. But a lot of you are gonna take that karagma, which is gonna be in your right hand or your forehead. Okay, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 107 and verse 33. Because the Most High is so amazing that his capability is not, you can't measure his capability. He can do anything. It says you can do all things for a Mashiach who strengthen me. Our power doesn't have a limit. Our power is limitless. So this is Psalms 107 and verse 33. It says he turneth rivers into wilderness and the water springs into dry ground. And this is what's going to happen to Babylon the Great, which is America, and over here in the UK also. You know, these places, it says he turneth rivers into wilderness and the water springs into dry ground, because this, you know, we was importing, we're plenteous in foods and goods and stuff. Even though UK doesn't really produce much, we get it imported. You know, now these ties that we had are now being cut from these other places, you know, Russia and, you know, these other parts where we would get stuff, China, so on and so forth, slowly cutting ties. And, you know, they was flowing, you know, the system was booming, you know, their whole system was up and running, and now it's slowly being broken down. It says he turneth rivers into wilderness and the water springs into dry ground. A fruitful land into barrenness. Yeah, this is what we're seeing. These fruitful lands are now becoming barren, man. This is a time that we're in. It says, for the wickedness of them that dwell therein. Yeah. It says he turneth the wilderness into a standing water. You know, he's going to raise up the men. You know, us being dry bones now, we have that water. This word, you know, will be raised up. It says a fruitful land into Salakia. It says he turneth the wilderness into a standing water and dry ground into water springs. So he's going to turn everything back to its original settings. You know, us being the head and these other nations being below us. You know, Esau being the tail. Of course, he says he turneth the wilderness into a standing water and dry ground into water springs, and there he maketh the hungry to dwell, that they may prepare a city for habitation, and sow the fields and plant vineyards, which may yield fruit of increase. So yeah, we're being raised up now in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all the men and the women and the children that serve him with all fear and trembling, man. And you nations and everyone that forsook Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you know, you're going to be brought down very low. It says all the lofty will be brought down low. And you hard-hearted ones and you stiff-neck are going to have to go through some pain and go through some correction and go through some discipline before we make it into that land which is going to be fruitful and plenteous, you know. So that's all I wanted to get, you know. There's going to be a great famine, a famine of the word, and a physical famine where there's not going to be food, okay? So that's all I wanted to get. I give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the water for everything you've done, what you're doing now. Kal halalim la Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Shalom.